You want me to go to the next one?
Oh God, you got more?
I do.
You know, you're. I think you're reaching your time limit. You didn't know you had a time limit, but I think you're getting there.
All right. Well, I have like 3 more things.
Oh God. Do you have anything over there that has to do with International Women's Day?
The last one.
Do you have anything over there that has to do with COVID-19?
I don't.
Do you have anything to do with lots of cancellations of things?
Kind of.
Do you have anything over there about men behaving badly?
No.
All right, so here's my first thing. And maybe I just have to move. I don't know if I can move 1 or 2. Maybe.
Go.
I don't think men should be allowed by their news organizations
Ooh, I'm so glad you got this
to
one up.
report on International Women's Day. I think women should be reporting on International Women's Day.
That would make the sense.
Well,
Ooh, this man.
there are women reporters, right? Every organization has them on location, blah, blah, blah. But then you have International Women's Day and you have men trying to shape the story.
Ooh, Lord.
And I don't think men today are equipped to do that. It would be like what we saw in the 50s, 60s, 70s in America with black folks and white reporters. It's the same problem. You've got people going basically into a situation that can understand it a little bit, but the words that they choose to use are basically hurting the people in the situation. They're not really flatly reporting, but they're putting out their own biases and ideas, and I don't think they're realizing it when they're saying it, because usually they're live. They're just talking. But that in itself is the problem, because they're not effectively giving that information in a non-hurtful way to the people that they're reporting on.
In a non-biased way.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But the bias is what's
You
hurtful.
should tell him what you're talking about.
I can't remember what he said. What was the thing he said?
I cannot remember.
Tell him. I don't
So
remember that.
we
Actually.
listen
I can't
to
remember
the
it now.
BBC Global News podcast every single morning when I'm getting ready
Yeah, they
for
don't
work.
care about that.
And they were talking about the movement of the women protesting violence against women and abuse against women. And they had talked about the day in Mexico, and they went to the live reporter in
Mexico.
They went to the reporter in Pakistan, who was then talking about the same type of thing in Pakistan. And he said the alleged abuse against women.
Yeah.
They are protesting the alleged abuse against women.
There's no alleged abuse.
There's no alleged abuse. It is abuse. It is sexual violence. It is physical violence. It is mental abuse. It is physical abuse. It is all kinds of violence against women in order to control everything they do. It's from the government all the way down to their family members. And this dude said the alleged assault, and I thought your head was gonna explode.
Do I have my animation yet?
Still got you gotta put it in.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't think he was being malicious.
No, I don't think so either. He's just oblivious.
In the way he said it, it was like you're throwing some kind of misplaced doubt as to the veracity of the claims that women are being abused.
Absolutely.
And it's like, no. Everybody knows that this is happening. It's true. Why Why even put that out there as potentially not true, overblown?
Right.
You know, it's like nobody's coming to sue you. I mean, you're not accusing an individual. That's different. I understand that, especially coming out of the BBC, they can't do that. They can't say that person did.
Right.
I get that.
Then you would say
then you have,
alleged.
Right. Then
because
you
have, have no proof.
Right. But that's not what was happening. He was talking about abuse, period. Mm-hmm. And, okay. So, to go along with this, I asked, why do women allow men to behave badly? Especially in the context of Mexico. Because I don't understand why Mexican women, and apparently across Latin America, why the women allow the men to be this way. And this goes back to what you were talking about with setting limits and all that kind of stuff and in the home.
Right.
Why is it that women raising these men, because I was never allowed to be or do any of these things
Neither were
with
my
my
brothers.
mother or my aunts or my grandma. I was never allowed to be this way.
Two.
So why are women here allowing that?
What is the law about how you speak to your sister?
There's a law.
There's a law.
I didn't vote.
There was no voting.
Ain't that a bitch? Just left me out.
What's the law?
If I can't talk to you or Grandma that way, I can't talk to Keegan or any other woman that way.
That's the law.
That's the law.
Yeah.
And that has been the law since Keegan was born.
The law. Apparently the mommy is the law. I need her head on that
I am the
Sure.
law.
the predator. We'll put that up here somewhere.
I'm the law.
You have to say it like.
I am the law.
No, not that way.
Oh.
Anyway, so I don't get why women allow the men. And this is all men.
And that
this
goes
is
to that
men
teacher
that
this
they're-
week.
But this is men that they're dating. This is men that are young around them as family members. This is men last night they were saying something about how men treat women when they take their car in to get fixed. This is all the men that they're encountering all day long, because honestly, I cannot conceive of black women allowing that today. Allowing that for very long. Like, I see black women walking into the car place saying, you know, my car is doing XYZ, and the guys start talking and say, look, don't give me that bullshit. Everything you're saying, I know how my car is supposed to work. I mean, they're not going to take it. They're not going to take it in the moment. So why is it that Mexican women are willing to take it, and then they want to protest and vandalize things that have nothing to do with that subjugation?
Yeah.
Like bank windows. What did that window do?
Shop windows,
Or a statue.
statues.
No, I get the fight against patriarchy. I get that. But I don't get just random businesses unless in Mexico some, bank is doing something actively to either not allow women to move up in that particular bank, or they don't give, they don't treat women the same or appropriately when they come to do business in the bank. Or if it's something like that, then it seems like somebody should have said that.
Right.
But you don't just start breaking all the windows, because that doesn't really help anything, and it doesn't promote your position at all. It just makes you look like what they say all the bad things about women are. That makes you look emotional or irrational and all that kind of stuff. So I guess I don't understand why women allow it. Why do women allow it? Go.
Don't ask me, because I don't allow it. You see, he has a law. See how
say I am the law.
I am the law. So you see my reaction to this little boy, because the way the teacher started this conversation was, I can see that there's a lot of machismo in this household because of the way this special needs child speaks to his parapro. And then he spoke to me in that way. And I just looked at her and I was like, but you're allowing it. By saying, oh, that hurts my feeling, that hurts my heart, you didn't say you cannot do that in this space.
Make it not acceptable.
When he's 10, when he's 15, when he's 30, he's going to be that machismo asshole that you don't like, but you didn't stop it in the classroom when he was 5.
Last year, I had a student that was grabbing girls and trying to control, like, physically
I have one of those.
controlling them. Now, this is 6th grade, though.
I have a 5-year-old
Physically
like that.
controlling them because that's what he wanted. And every single woman did not want to address that with that child and those parents. And I was like, wait a minute. Was he like this last year? And they all said yes. And it's like, if he was like this last year, one, why didn't you nip it in the bud last year?
Uh-huh.
But if I come along as a guy and I'm uncomfortable from what he's doing, and I'm seeing it going, this doesn't bode well for the future, why are you letting it go?
Yep.
And it's like, so when he grabs somebody and he does hurt them physically or emotionally, you're just gonna walk away and let it go in your school? That's the kind of people you are?
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, see, that's why I can't, when I see it, I stop it, and I stop it immediately. But I would stop it if a girl was doing the same thing to a boy.
Absolutely.
I mean, because all of these behaviors are inappropriate inside of school. So if the girl is hitting on other girls or boys or being a bully or what, all of those things, if you see it, why are you not saying something? And then if it continues, why are you not taking the next steps that you've probably already outlined in your handbook for your school? Why are you not following your own rules?
Right. Well, and that was part of the conversation this week because the principal said, we are going to implement a zero tolerance policy next year. And I said, well, will that zero tolerance policy include the little 5-year-old boy who is physically manhandling girls and trying to manipulate who they can and cannot talk to and how they can play and when they can play and who they can sit next to and who they can speak to and physically grabbing them and taking them away from places? And she said, well, yes, that's not acceptable. I said, but I have that in my classroom and I've been complaining about this since September. And anytime I talk to the parent or the grandparents about it, because the grandparents are basically raising him, they just blow it off like it's no big deal. I said, so I've stopped talking to the parents and grandparents, and I continue to talk to him and tell him it's inappropriate. But now I'm taking the girls and saying, he doesn't have this right. Don't let him do this. He can't tell you. He can't touch you. If you don't like it, tell him to stop. And now the girls are saying, stop, I don't like it, don't do that. But it has taken me this whole time, and the 3 months I was gone recovering from surgery, it didn't happen. The teacher didn't teach the girls these things. Now I have parents coming to me saying, I heard about this situation from my daughter, and I just want to thank you for helping her understand it's not okay.
Isn't that your job as the parent?
But they're not there in that moment.
Right, they're not there.
It's my job in that moment to teach them that. So maybe I'm changing the little girls here, this 10 little girls that I have in my classroom, and maybe even some little boys who are watching the exchange, and I'm saying, this is not okay, stop. Your body does not belong on her body. You cannot control her body. That is hers. Only she has the right to control her body.
And see, okay. So, in the idea of the boy who's trying to control the girl, why would that boy think that's okay?
I have no idea.
Yes, you do have
because
an idea.
he's seen it somewhere at home.
Exactly. So then, this is why parents don't want to do anything, because
they have to confront their own demons.
Right. They are the ones that have shown the child that this is acceptable.
Yep.
Behavior. And honestly, the one I had last year the parents had a boy and a girl, and the girl was the older child. And it was amazing to me. It's like, you have a girl yourselves. Mm-hmm. Would you want your child, to behave this way with your daughter?
Yep.
And of course they wouldn't.
Well,
and then they kept saying, how he wasn't like that at home. It's
bullshit.
like, but then why
He's definitely like that at home.
Then why does he think it's okay at school?
Yep.
Somebody somewhere modeled this behavior, which then leads you down, hey, Dad, what's up, Dad?
Right.
What are you doing, Dad?
Yep.
Because then you probably did something. You probably behaved a way that made him think this was okay. And the mom behaved a way that said yes and confirmed that idea.
Well, and that's something that I've done with Aaron and Keegan all along. Like,
gave them rules.
Not only that, but I made them reflect on how their way of speaking to one another, their behavior towards one another, how that is going to affect the other person long term. For example, there was a time when Keegan was mistreating Aaron and yelling at him or saying really cruel and nasty things and hitting him. And I said to her, what if Aaron was dating a girl and that girl did that to him? She's like, I'd beat her up. And I said, okay. But you're teaching Aaron that this is how girls are supposed to treat him. Is that what you want? And she had never thought of it that way. And the same with Aaron. When you talk to Keegan in that way, you are teaching Keegan that that's how men should treat her. Is that what you want? And he's like, absolutely not. Then you can't speak to her that way. She can't speak to you that way. She can't treat you in this fashion. And if parents aren't willing to look at the behavior between the siblings and say, you're setting your sibling up for failure in relationships later, they're never going to learn that.
What? You took a big breath. I figured you were about to say something.
No, the thing fell.
If you want to find this, follow the Traveling Fars, you can find us at the YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, anywhere that does podcasting. At the Traveling Fars. If you like the Instagram or the Twitters, Traveling Fars. If you like the email, travelingfars@gmail.com. And the blog space, where you can hear the audio version of this podcast only. TheTravelingFars.blueberry.net. No E's in the blueberry. There you go.
And if you're listening to the audio only, go to the YouTube so that you can see the funnies.
Yes, and then you can ring bells and
subscribe buttons
and
smack the like.
Smack it?
Sure, why not?
2020 style.
So many different ways. I feel like
it's like everybody has
very
said
violent against the.
But everybody has said.
Bite its face.
A way of dealing with the like and the dislike. I love.
Gerald.
Yeah, Gerald Undun's. If you didn't like this, hit the dislike button twice.
Yeah.
That is the best.
That is very
It took me a long time to realize why would he say the 2 times? But do those things. Give us feedback.
That needs to be.
Let us know
Say that.
what you're thinking. Say goodbye to the people.
Bye, people.
Say goodbye to the people. Say goodbye to the people.
San Pellegrino.
You didn't even say goodbye to people last week.
We would appreciate being sponsored by San Pellegrinos. It's refreshing and healthy.
Peace!